Tariffs. The greatest word in the human dictionary? I don't know. I'm not going to get into that. But tariffs are here and they're real. And so today I'm going to start a series of videos I hope you guys will like. Please let me know, because if you're here in the US, and I know I have many friends out there around the world, so this is really for those in the US who are most affected, even though the whole world is affected by this. But for those in the US, I think now is an opportune time to take a look back at some of the handhelds that we've looked at over the last 2 years that you probably could find used and probably will give you a great experience. You don't need the new shiny thing. I saw that Russ at Retro Game Core did a video like this, and I'm inspired by that. So thanks, Russ. So anyways, we're going to start with the one that our friends over at AliExpress sent us. Now, you can pick this up brand new through AliExpress at a pretty decent discount. But really, I'm kind of showcasing this thing and taking another look at it to kind of give you an idea of what you can do on this here in 2025 if you want to go the used route, or if you pick this up new through AliExpress, what you can expect. Remember to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss an episode of our show. But today, we're going to take a look once again at the very first Android handheld from Ayaneo, the Pocket Air Retro Edition. So we'll start, as always, with the box. And looking at the box, it's pretty attractive. It has this really nice retro vibe going on with it. It's a rather large box, and I kind of forgot how big it was. Now, Ayaneo has been known, at least in my opinion, to have really nice packaging, and this one is no slouch. Looking back and reviewing my original review, I was also impressed with the box back then, and it has this nice texture on the front. It's presented well. If we turn it around and look, we have some nice design language here. And then on the back, we do have some information about the tablet, calling it a tablet for the tariffs. It's a tablet, not a video game. For that. And so it has some information here. It's nice. We did go with the 8 gig model and 256 gig this time. The first time around, we had the 6 gig, 128 gig model. But the packaging seems to be exactly the same as it was whenever we opened it nearly 2 years ago. And so it's really well done. Opening it up and getting it out of the package and box, you have this nice little top thing. Again, real gamers, no gamers. That's the theme of Ayaneo, so no surprises here. Moving that underneath, and we have the beautiful handheld. We'll get that out of the way for a second. Going down deeper, and we have two little packages. One of the boxes has our power cord, and the other has our manuals and other inserts for that. So originally, this did ship with some extra goodies because we got it through the Indiegogo campaign, which had some extra stick caps. Sadly, those are no longer packed with the regular package, but maybe they're sold elsewhere, but you can always pick up other kinds of stick toppers as well. Anyways, let's get this thing out and talk about the handheld. Now, let's get this right out of the way. There are better choices now. This came out at the tail end of 2023. We're already into May of 2025. So this came out a while back, and so keep that in mind. However, now this is still around, and this is going on the used market from anywhere from $200 to $250 used. You can get it brand new at Best Buy, brand new. That's another thing. You can buy this at Best Buy for $399, or AliExpress with coupons like I did. You can get this for around $300. Now, when this went on Indiegogo, this was for $399. This is the 8 gig model with the 256 gig RAM. We did have the 6 gig model with the less RAM, the 6 gig of RAM, and the 128 gigs of storage that we reviewed earlier. So go check out that first video if you want to see that one. But this is, again, looking at this in 2025. So this is a very nice feeling handheld. I haven't had this handheld in a while. And first, let me thank AliExpress for sending this over so we could review this. I want to thank them as always for the support of this channel, and hopefully you guys will be able to find some good bargains there that are in their US warehouse. They are stocking US warehouses. I will leave codes. The rest of you, all of my fans around the world, also keep buying from AliExpress. Now, back to the handheld. When I picked this up again, not having used this in quite a while, I was quickly reminded of how much I liked the ergonomics of this. This handheld is nice to hold. It is in the shape of the older Ayaneo PC models, something along the lines of the Pocket Air, the Air, Ayaneo Air that came out. Is sort of the same shell, and it has that nice shape to it. It sort of reminds me of Ambernick's RG556 or 557. It has a nice form factor to it. So it's really good to, sorry to interrupt the video, deadheads, but I wanted to share with you this great sling bag from Genki. Our friends at Amazon sent this over for us to review, and I wanted to share with you how awesome and amazing this bag is for transporting your precious handhelds. This bag has awesome features such as a Fidlock magnetic clasp, a design for modern handhelds, and it's not your average cheap PCV carry. This is crafted with high quality materials and premium hardware. The black one that I have here has Cordura, that's right, Cordura 1000D exterior. Renowned for its durability and strength, Cordura 1000 has a double PU waterproof coating, making this black Saya ultra rugged. As I show you this opening of some of my handhelds here, I have found this to be my friend when I want to take more than one handheld. Yeah, I'm crazy. I have several handhelds. But something like the upcoming Switch 2 would also benefit from this awesome bag. Anyways, hit the link if you want to pick one of these up in the description below. We want to thank our friends at Genki and Amazon for sending this over. Back to the show, which is one of the things I really enjoyed about this handheld back in the day. It's got this nice retro vibe to it. I love the colorways on this. I always have loved the colorways on this. But going over the hardware, we have a little bit small buttons. Now, I'm going to show you some footage of this against the Pocket S, which is the evolution of this. And the Pocket S buttons have been more refined. Now, the Pocket S is way more premium than this, and I still would prefer the Pocket S over this, even though this has OLED and 5G connectivity that the Pocket S does not have. But the buttons on this are a little small for me. Maybe I've just played a lot of handhelds since then, but at the time I don't remember the buttons being this small. They do work okay. The Switch style sticks are fine. They come off. You can change them with interchangeable caps. I like them. Good range of motion. A little short, but I think that's fine for pocketability. The D-pad also is fine. No issues with the D-pad. I like this D-pad. It works pretty well. The other buttons on here, including the Ayaneo button, work as you would expect. I'm now a lot more familiar with Ayaneo software. I remember having some struggle with this when I first got it, kind of figuring out how to use the overhead and everything, but it's now a lot easier. The top of it has really nice triggers, including these really awesome analog triggers. In fact, I think these triggers are better than on the S. I am a little surprised. So I actually kind of prefer these triggers. I think they work really well. And for games that use analog on the triggers, some N64 games, for example, it is really nice to have that for it. Also, we do still have an LC and RC on here, even though it's not labeled. So there's a little 3-dot button here that you can use as extra buttons. As this handheld's evolved, and now we're coming with the Pocket Ace, they evolved into the LC and RC buttons, but on here they're just labeled with 3 little dots. They do work. This has a fingerprint scanner, which is good and effective. It does have a backfiring speaker, which is nice and loud, but I don't like backfiring speakers. They're my least favorite, so I kind of wish the speakers were on front. It also has a little heat coming out of it, so that's another criticism I have of it. But it's got a nice style and look to it. It feels good in the hands, and it's nice to hold. So that's not a problem. This is a nice, well-made, attractive handheld that, yeah, there's others out there that may be better, but I do like the style of this. Now let's talk about this screen. This screen is gorgeous. This screen is light. This is an OLED 5.5-inch 1080p screen, and I like it quite a bit. I think that it's actually maybe better than the screen in the Ambernick 556. Now, I have not got the 557 yet, but I do feel like this is just a little bit sharper, clearer than the 556. So really good OLED screen on this. It has that bezel. It has the bezel. I'm kind of over bezels, but you know, if we're going for the retro look, I guess it's fine for that. Now, let's talk about what this system can do. This is a Dimensity 1200. Under most tests that I've looked up, now I haven't tested myself, but under a lot of metrics I've looked up, the Dimensity 1200 is neck and neck with the Snapdragon 865 in numbers, okay? And where have we seen the 865? Oh yeah, the Retroid Pocket 5, which also has an OLED screen. Now, here's the thing. A Retroid Pocket 5 is $230 MSRP. Now, that's if you can get it here in the US for that, plus shipping, plus whatever tariffs that come through. This we know is at Best Buy for $399. So I don't know how much tariffs are going to be. I don't know if Retroid is really going to be able to do that. That being said, let me talk about what this has over the Retroid Pocket 5. It has 5G connectivity. I know it's not big for people, but some of you out there may want to put a SIM card in this thing and be able to be out there and do retro achievements when you don't have any Wi-Fi. Okay? It's got ergonomics. This thing has good ergonomics. Better triggers. We all know Retroid isn't the best with triggers, although the 5 is great. So that's about what I would say for this. Overall, though, between the two, if the price is similar, I think the Retroid Pocket 5 and certainly the Flip are going to be a better deal than this guy right here. But again, the point of this is for looking at this again, taking into account the tariffs, and if you're in that situation, looking on the used market, because it's unlikely that you're going to find a used Retroid Pocket Flip or 5 at the same price you could find this. But maybe I'm wrong. Now, the Dimensity 1200 is sufficient. I've got even that secret console. I'll show some footage here of the secret console playing. We got the secret console playing. PS2 runs pretty good. I mean, it's going to perform a lot of the stuff that you would be able to perform on a Retroid. Now, this is not going to do what Pocket S can do, or Odin Portal, or any of that. So it's completely silly. This is not even any league with that. But when you're looking at it with something like the Unisoc T820 from the 556 or the Dimensity, 900, 1100 on the RP4, you're in that same ballpark. You're in that same sort of ability, and even closer to the Snapdragon 865, although the driver situation's better on that. So what do we think of this handheld in 2025? Well, I think if you can get this at a price that you feel is very fair market-wise, I would say go for it. I like it. I picked it up. I started playing it again. I've been obsessed with the Classic, the Retroid Pocket Classic lately, and I still find that I'm picking this up and playing this quite a bit. It is got enough attractive stuff to it. It's got removable stick tops. It's got a nice form factor and shape. It's got 5G connectivity, which is pretty cool. We tested. It streams okay. I didn't have any I'm not the expert here on streaming from the PC, so don't take this to be, word here, but I was able to use some Steam Link and stream, and it seemed to stream just as good as the Odin Portal did for me. So no problems there. I do have Wi-Fi 7 in the house. Just FYI, this can't do Wi-Fi 7, but just saying that I have that. So overall, I want to say that this is still a viable option considering the price. And this is not a video about price. This is a video about whether, regardless of price, this is still something that I think you could find some enjoyment out of if you end up in your hands. Overall, yes, there are probably better options, and Ayaneo has made better options. The Pocket S, I prefer a whole lot more to this, even though it is 1440p LED IPS versus OLED. Anyways, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this relook at the Ayaneo Pocket Air, as I've shown some footage here from some different gameplay and everything, using Netflix on this thing, watching YouTube on it. The OLED screen, again, is gorgeous. The speakers are loud. I wish they were on the front. They're on the back. And it has, Android 12, so it's a little bit older software, but working pretty well. Anyways, guys, remember to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss an episode of this. Also, remember always to hug your loved ones and love your hugged ones, because tomorrow is never promised. We'll see you next time, Deadheads. Dead Fred out.